The day I got the call from Harper & Gray, I thought my life was finally turning around. The senior director position meant financial freedom, a fresh start after my divorce. But when I opened my door that evening to find a funeral wreath with my name on it, I realized my ex-mother-in-law had other plans. The card simply read, "Some dreams should stay buried." That's when I understood, this wasn't just about a job. This was war. I remember the exact moment my life split in two. One second I was spinning in my office chair, grinning at Harper & Gray's offer letter, the next my phone was buzzing with a call that turned my blood to ice. "Did you really think we wouldn't find out?" Evelyn's voice slithered through the phone, each word precise as a scalpel. I gripped the edge of my desk. After 2 years of silence since the divorce, my ex-mother-in-law had chosen today of all days to reappear. "It's just a job, Evelyn. Not to this family." The line went dead, leaving me staring at my reflection in the dark computer screen, pale, wide-eyed, exactly how she wanted me. The texts started pouring in immediately. "Daniel, my ex, how could you? His sister Lauren, after everything we did for you?" Even his father, who'd never so much as liked a single one of my social media posts, sent a Bible verse about betrayal. I should have laughed it off. Harper & Gray was just a marketing firm, for God's sake. But to the Spencers, they were the enemy, the company that had been stealing their clients for a decade. The Vulture's Ridge Spencer ranted about every Thanksgiving. The wreath arrived at 7 p.m. Black roses with a ribbon the color of dried blood. My neighbor Mrs. Garcia crossed herself when she saw me carrying it inside. "Who dies?" she asked. "Just my career," I muttered, tossing it in the trash. The card fluttered to the floor. "Some dreams should stay buried. E.C." That's when the fear set in. Not the sharp kind, but the slow creeping sort that coils around your ribs and squeezes. Evelyn didn't make empty threats. Last time she sent flowers, it was lilies, the day after my miscarriage. Lauren showed up unannounced 3 days later, letting herself in like she still owned the place. I found her in my kitchen, sipping my coffee, wearing that smug half-smile that always made me want to throw things. "You look terrible," she said, eyeing my sweatpants. "Stress isn't good for the baby." The mug slipped from my fingers, shattering on the tile. How could she possibly know? I'd only taken the test yesterday morning, hadn't even told Tom yet. Lauren reached into her designer purse and slid a sonogram across my counter. My sonogram. From Mount Sinai Hospital, where Evelyn sat on the board of directors. "Mother has friends everywhere," she said sweetly. "Just like last time." That night, I dug through old medical files until I found the toxicology report from my miscarriage. At the time, I'd been too devastated to question the note about unusual herbal compounds. Now, after 30 minutes on medical websites, I had my answer: pennyroyal oil. A natural abortifacient. The same herb Evelyn bragged about putting in her special pregnancy tea. The tea she'd served me daily until I barely made it to the bathroom before vomiting. The courier arrived at dawn with a slim package. Inside lay 2 items, a framed photo of my positive pregnancy test, taken in my private bathroom, and a vial of dark liquid labeled family recipe tea blend. The note said simply, "History repeats itself. Choose wisely." I sank to my knees, the cold hardwood biting through my pajamas. They weren't just threatening my job now. They were threatening my child. Outside, a car engine turned over. When I peered through the blinds, a black sedan was idling across the street. As I watched, the passenger window rolled down just enough to reveal the barrel of a camera lens pointed directly at me. The phone rang. "Harper & Gray's HR director. We just need your final confirmation to." "I accept," I whispered, watching the sedan. Because suddenly, this wasn't about a job anymore. This was about survival. I waited until 2 a.m. when I knew the Spencers' house would be empty. My hands were so sweaty the key almost slipped as I unlocked the back door. The house smelled like expensive perfume and wood polish, just like it always did. I crept up to the attic where Evelyn kept all her old boxes. Under a pile of baby clothes that had never been worn, I found it, a small pink diary with gold letters that said Rebecca. My heart pounded as I opened it. The first page said, "January 15th, Evelyn insists I drink her special pregnancy tea every morning. It makes me feel sick, but she watches me swallow every drop." I kept reading. March 3rd, I found crushed leaves in the trash. "Not the herbs she says are in the tea. I'm scared." The last entry made my stomach hurt. April 3rd, told Evelyn I won't drink the tea anymore. She smiled and said, "Some women don't deserve children. Going to doctor tomorrow. If something happens to me." The writing stopped there. 2 days later, the newspapers said Rebecca died in a hiking accident. I ran to Dr. Meyer's office first thing in the morning, the the diary clutched in my shaking hands. "You need to see this," I said, pushing the diary at her. Her face turned white as she read. "This matches what we found in your blood after your miscarriage. Natalie, this wasn't an accident. She's done this before." At the library, I looked through old newspapers. What I found made me feel sick. In 2006, Daniel's cousin Sophia lost twins during a ski trip accident. In 2008, a family friend drowned in the Spencer's pool while pregnant. In 2010, Rebecca had her hiking accident. All these women had one thing in common: they'd spent time with Evelyn before they died. My phone buzzed with a text from a number I didn't know. "Stop looking." I typed back, "Or what? You'll kill me like the others?" The reply came fast: "You're nothing special. Just another problem to remove." I woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of breaking glass. Someone was inside my apartment. I rolled under the bed just as my bedroom door opened. Two people moved quietly around my room. They took pictures of everything: Rebecca's diary, my medical papers, even the ultrasound photo on my fridge. Then one of them took the bottle of prenatal vitamins from my nightstand and put it in their pocket. Before leaving, they put something on my pillow. When the police came later, they found no fingerprints. Just a single black rose with a blue ribbon tied around it, exactly like the ribbons Evelyn uses for her tea bags. The phone rang at 6 a.m. It was Lauren. "Mother wants to make a deal," she said in her perfect rich girl voice. "Quit your job, leave town, and nothing bad will happen to your baby." My hand went to my stomach. "And if I say no?" Lauren sighed like she was bored. "Then you'll disappear like Rebecca did. And we both know no one asks too many questions when a pregnant woman kills herself." That night, I wrote down everything I knew. Evelyn's threats. The stolen vitamins. Rebecca's diary. All the accidents. I attached copies of all my proof. Then I set up an email to send to every news station. The police. My new bosses. The email would send in 24 hours, unless I stopped it. Just in case, I mailed paper copies to my sister in Canada. A safe deposit box under a fake name. I was putting stamps on the last envelope when my doorbell rang. Detective Markham stood there holding a clear plastic bag. "We tested your vitamins," he said. "Someone replaced them with poison pills. The same poison we found in Rebecca's body." Detective Markham drove me to a small apartment above a grocery store. "We've been watching Evelyn for years," he said, handing me a cheap phone. "But we need you alive to prove what she's done." The apartment had bars on the windows. Markham spread photos on the table: Evelyn going into her clinic at night, meeting with judges, even one of her dropping something into a teacup at a party. "Her fertility clinic isn't real," he said. "We think she's been testing different poisons on pregnant women for years." I gripped the table. "Why?" "Control," Markham said, pointing to a photo of young Daniel. "Only certain women get to have Spencer babies. The rest have accidents." At 3 a.m., my new phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number: "Ask the detective about his wife." Markham turned pale when I showed him. "Lydia died in a car crash 5 years ago. She was looking into Evelyn." I understood immediately. She was pregnant. He nodded slowly. 8 weeks along. The autopsy found poison in her blood. Now I knew why he cared so much. This wasn't just his job. This was personal. The email went out at dawn. By lunchtime, #SpencerSecrets was all over social media. Reporters surrounded Evelyn's house and the clinic. Then my phone rang. Evelyn herself, calm as always. "Come to the house, Natalie. Let's end this properly." Markham grabbed my arm. "Don't go. It's a trap." But then the hospital called. My doctor sounded panicked. "Your blood tests were switched. You need treatment now." Evelyn's final play: poison me slowly, then offer the cure if I stayed quiet. As Markham drove me to the hospital, I realized the truth. Evelyn would never stop. Unless I stopped her. I opened my phone and added one last line to the email: "If I die, it's murder." Then I hit send, to everyone in my contacts. The last thing I saw before the black SUV hit us was Evelyn's gardener behind the wheel. The first thing I noticed was the heart monitor beeping too fast. The second was the handcuff around my wrist, chaining me to the hospital bed. Evelyn sat in the chair beside me, dressed in her perfect navy suit like she was going to a business meeting instead of holding someone prisoner. "You caused quite a stir," she said, sipping from a china cup. "But don't worry. I've told everyone you had a mental breakdown." I yanked at the cuff. "Where's Detective Markham?" "Poor man." She sighed. "Such a tragic car accident." My stomach dropped. "The good news is, your baby is fine," Evelyn continued, patting my stomach through the thin hospital gown. "For now." She set a teacup on the tray table and slid it toward me. The familiar blue ribbon curled around the handle. Outside the door, I heard Lauren arguing with a doctor. "My sister-in-law isn't seeing anyone. She's unstable." I screamed as loud as I could. "Help. Someone." Evelyn jammed a needle into my foreline. "Hush, dear. The nurses think you're delusional." The room swam. I fought to stay awake, but the drugs pulled me under. The last thing I saw was Evelyn texting on her phone, "Prepare the ore. We'll terminate tonight." I woke to someone shaking me. A young nurse with shaking hands. "Ms. Whitmore? I'm Jen. Detective Markham's niece." She uncuffed me fast. "He told me to watch for you. He's alive." "Barely." She helped me sit up. "Your email went viral. The FBI is raiding Evelyn's clinic right now." The door burst open. Lauren stood there, eyes wild. When she saw the open cuff, she lunged, but Jen stabbed her with a syringe. Lauren collapsed like a doll. "Come on." Jen dragged me to a service elevator. "There are reporters outside. Just walk straight to them." I stumbled through the hospital doors into a wall of cameras. Microphones jabbed at my face. "Ms. Whitmore, did Evelyn Carter try to kill you?" I held up my shaking wrists, the cuff marks still red. "She's been killing women for 20 years. Here's the proof." Jen handed out folders, copies of everything I'd found. Rebecca's diary. The fake vitamins. The list of accidents. Across the parking lot, I saw Evelyn being shoved into a police car, her perfect hair finally messy. 6 months later, I sat in my new office at Harper & Gray, watching the news coverage of Evelyn's trial. Guilty on 7 counts of attempted murder. 3 counts of murder. My daughter kicked in my belly as the camera showed Evelyn being led away in handcuffs. Detective Markham, now walking with a cane, sent me a text, "She'll die in prison." I looked at the sonogram on my desk. Then I poured Evelyn's favorite teacup into the trash where it belonged. Some families hide terrible secrets. But the truth always comes out, usually when someone brave enough digs it up.